Become the person who attracts success, ladies and gentlemen. The greatest mistake people make is chasing success like it's a thing out there, distant, elusive, locked away in some vault. But the truth is bold and undeniable. Success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract. By the person you become, let that settle into your spirit. Everything you seek, wealth, fulfillment, influence, respect, it doesn't come to you because you want it. It comes because you've developed the magnetism to pull it in. So the question is not how do I get more success? The question is, who must I become to deserve it? The world doesn't pay you for your intentions, it pays you for your value, and value is the outcome of your character, your habits, your thoughts, and your persistence. You want the life of your dreams, then build the mind that can handle that life. You want abundance, then eliminate the scarcity in your thinking. You want freedom, then master the discipline that freedom demands. You want respect, then rise and earn it when no one's watching. Every day, you're either moving closer to the person who attracts success, or further from it. There is no in-between, and the secret is this: you don't get what you wish for. You get what you are. Success doesn't fall into laps. It's magnetized to those who are relentlessly focused, endlessly disciplined, and ruthlessly intentional. 8 keynotes. Become the person who attracts success. 1. You attract success by becoming valuable, not by seeking shortcuts. 2. Your mindset is the magnet. Shape it with purpose, clarity, and belief. 3. Discipline and persistence are the currencies that buy achievement. 4. Success is a response, not a gifted answers to growth, not desire. 5. Excuses repel, success eliminate them, and doors open. 6. You must earn the identity of a successful person before you live it. 7. Every small habit either builds or breaks your future self. 8. The real transformation begins the moment you take full responsibility. Let us begin with an unshakable truth. Success is not something granted to the lucky. It is a reward, measured and delivered according to value. You cannot demand from the world that which you have not earned through inner refinement and outward contribution. There is a law, unseen but always active, that governs the lives of all great achievers. You must become more to receive more. You cannot plant weeds and expect a harvest of gold. The universe does not operate on hope or empty ambition. It responds only to those who have increased their worth in thought, in skill, and in service. Value, not vanity, is the currency of success. And how do you become valuable? You become valuable by developing yourself beyond the average, by mastering the art of thought, by doing what others will not, by acquiring knowledge, refining your talents, and multiplying your usefulness. You rise by lifting others, not by stepping over them. You ascend by solving problems, not creating excuses. But here lies the danger, the seductive lure of shortcuts. The man who seeks shortcuts is like a sailor who tosses aside his compass, hoping the storm will take him home. He wants the reward without the work. He wants to skip the becoming and jump to the having. But success sees through every shallow attempt and turns its face from those who would rob it of its process. No empire is built overnight. No greatness comes without cost. Shortcuts are the tools of the impatient, the lazy, and the deluded. They promise everything and deliver regret, because success is not fooled by pretense. It is only attracted to authentic power. When you become the kind of person who brings real value to the world, who can lead, create, inspire, solve, or elevate, then success is not something you chase, it finds you. It is drawn to you by natural law. You become a center of gravity, and opportunities begin to orbit your presence. This is the path walked by those who understood that. This is the path walked by those who understood that real value is not in possessions, but in personhood. Success does not linger around those who merely wish and wonder. It gravitates toward those who build themselves like temples, with intention, with design, with relentless consistency. It is drawn to those who invest more time crafting their character than curating their image. You see, the man or woman who becomes valuable does not wait to be discovered. They prepare in silence, grow in the shadows, and rise with thunder when the world finally takes notice. They do not ask, "What can I get?" They ask, "What can I become?" And through that question they separate themselves from the crowd. There is no trick, no hack, no secret shortcut that can substitute the deep inner work of self-mastery. It begins in the mind, shaping your thoughts, disciplining your desires, redirecting your fears. It moves into action, building skills, forging resilience, sacrificing comfort for growth. The value you offer to the world will always mirror the inner architecture of your soul. If that structure is weak, built on ego, distraction, or illusion, then no amount of ambition will hold your success together. But if it is strong, built on integrity, learning, and persistence, then nothing can stop the magnetic force of the person you become. Understand this: the world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you reflect. If you reflect strength, wisdom, courage, and clarity, you will find yourself surrounded by opportunities that match those very traits. So the question that must govern every morning and echo in every evening is not, "How can I win?" but rather, "How can I grow into someone who cannot lose?" Because when you become the person who adds value everywhere you go, when your presence solves problems, when your mind produces vision, when your actions build momentum, success becomes not a miracle, but a matter of time. And it all begins the moment you stop chasing and start building, the moment you stop begging for more and start becoming more. The world will always compensate you exactly in proportion to the depth of your contribution. It must be understood that every human being walks through life carrying a magnet, an invisible force that either pulls success toward them or repels it away. That magnet is the mindset. It is not the economy. It is not the government. It is not luck. It is your thoughts, organized or disordered, empowered or poisoned, that determine what you attract into your life. The mind is the womb of all results. Every empire, invention, revolution, and fortune was first a seed in the soil of thought. And like any soil, what grows depends entirely on what is planted. A weak mind, left to drift, will invite defeat long before failure arrives. But a mind shaped with purpose, clarity, and belief becomes a magnet of power, a force that bends reality to intention. Purpose gives the mind direction. Without it, thought is scattered and powerless. But with it, every idea, every action, every setback is pulled into alignment with a greater aim. Clarity gives that direction precision. It eliminates confusion. It removes the fog. A vague goal creates vague results. But a mind with clear vision is like a focused beam. It pierces through doubt, distractions, and delay, and belief. Belief is the spark that ignites the unseen into the seen. It is the quiet confidence that what you hold in your imagination is already yours in spirit, and must soon appear in form. Without belief, the mind collapses under pressure. With belief, it becomes indestructible. You cannot hold thoughts of fear, scarcity, and limitation, and expect a life of prosperity, growth, and freedom. That is a contradiction, and life does not reward contradictions. It rewards alignment. You must train the mind to expect greatness, to assume the best, to look for opportunity when others see misfortune. You must install the idea that what you seek is already on its way, because the mind that truly believes will move with energy, speak with certainty, and act with a boldness that cannot be faked. Thoughts are not passive. They are blueprints sent out into the world like messengers. They call forth people, events, and situations that reflect their nature. Think weak, attract weak. Think rich, attract abundance. Think progress, and doors will open where others see only walls. But shaping the mind is not a one-time event. It is a discipline. Just as a body must be trained through repetition, the mind must be conditioned daily through study, reflection, and affirmation. Guard it like treasure, feed it like fire, command it like a captain. For when your mindset becomes a magnet, sharp in its focus, certain in its belief, and unwavering in its mission, the world cannot help but respond in kind, the right people appear, the right ideas come. Circumstances begin to turn. Why? Because success is not summoned by effort alone, it is drawn in by thought, and thought, when harnessed with purpose, clarity, and belief. There are two forces that stand behind every great monument of success, though they are rarely glamorous and seldom applauded. They are discipline and persistence, the true currencies of achievement. You may possess intelligence, talent, creativity, even vision. But without discipline, those qualities lie scattered and unfocused, like sunlight without a lens. It is discipline that gathers your power, channels it, and compels you to act when comfort would have you retreat. Discipline is the iron hand that pulls you from the warmth of excuses into the fire of progress. It is the quiet agreement between you and your future that today's discomfort is the price of tomorrow's reward. But discipline alone is not enough, for even the disciplined man will face trials. He will knock on doors that do not open. He will labor for months, sometimes years, before fruit appears. And that is where persistence steps in, the rarest trait among men, and yet the most vital. Persistence is the refusal to retreat in the face of rejection. It is the inner resolve that says, I will not stop until I have what I came for. Most people quit when the path grows dark. They see delay as denial. They allow temporary defeat to whisper permanent failure into their minds. But those who understand the nature of achievement know this. Setbacks are not signs to quit. They are signals to rise. Persistence is not blind repetition. It is intelligent endurance, a willingness to adapt without surrendering the goal. The persistent mind asks, how else can this be done? Not, should I give up? Every great accomplishment has passed through storms that would have broken the average man. Every builder of empires has met with defeat, and kept moving. Every inventor, leader, and creator you admire has been told no, more times than you can count, yet their answer was always the same, still I rise. Discipline keeps the hand steady. Persistence keeps the heart strong. Together they forge an unstoppable force, one that neither failure, nor fatigue, nor fear can overcome. These are not traits one is born with. They are built through habit, through hardship, through the sacred decision to continue. And make no mistake, achievement does not respond to desire. It responds to demonstration. It demands evidence in the form of daily effort, repeated action, and unshakable commitment. You do not buy your dreams with hope. You buy them with sweat. You pay for them in days when you don't feel like showing up, but you show up anyway, for the man who possesses discipline and persistence walks a road that few will follow, but it is a road that leads. Success has never been, and will never be, something randomly handed out like charity. It is not a gift bestowed upon the fortunate or favored. It is a response, a precise and predictable reaction to growth, effort, and personal evolution. Desire alone is not enough. Every man desires comfort, every woman dreams of freedom, but desire without growth is a silent wish, a longing that leads nowhere. The world does not pay for dreams, it pays for preparedness, performance, and personal development. Understand this truth. Success is not pursued. It is attracted by the person you become. It does not respond to how much you want, but to how much you grow. The universe has no sympathy for the one who merely hopes. But it has a deep and mysterious loyalty to the one who expands, who evolves, who deliberately becomes more capable, more courageous, more committed. The seed of an oak does not become a tree because it wants to. It becomes a tree because it grows, daily, silently, relentlessly, until it cannot be ignored. So too is it with you. You must stop asking, when will it come? And start asking, what else must I become? For every level of success you seek demands a higher version of yourself. Your current habits, your current mindset, your current skill set, they have delivered your current life. If you want more, you must become more. Success does not come down the chimney in the night. It is summoned through change, the change of thought, the change of behavior, the change of identity. You must do what others will not. You must read while they rest, study while they sleep, work while they wander. It is in your moments of growth that you build the architecture for success to live in. When you increase your value, improve your thinking, and discipline your spirit, you are constructing the vessel that success will flow into. And what does this mean in practical terms? It means investing in your mind like it is sacred land, guarding it from negativity, feeding it with ideas, and challenging it with truth. It means sharpening your skills like weapons, because the world rewards those who are ready, not those who are waiting. It means embracing failure as a mentor, discomfort as a compass, and change as the only path to power. When you grow, you send a signal into the fabric of life itself, a signal that says, I am no longer who I was, I am becoming who I must be. And in time, that signal is answered, not with applause, but with opportunity. Excuses are the language of the defeated, the subtle, poisonous whispers that justify inaction, protect weakness, and defend failure. They are the invisible chains that bind the average man to a life of regret, while he convinces himself that freedom was never truly an option. Make no mistake, success is repelled by excuses. Just as oil repels water, opportunity withdraws from the man who speaks in the dialect of delay, blame, and rationalization. The man who seeks reasons for why he can't finds them in abundance. The man who seeks only results, he finds a way or he becomes the way. Every excuse is a self-imposed prison, built with your own words, guarded by your own fears, and the most dangerous ones are not the loud declarations, but the quiet, believable ones. I don't have the time. I wasn't born into the right family. I'll start when things calm down. It's not the right moment. These are not truths. They are lies wrapped in comfort, lies that protect your ego but destroy your potential. For as long as you allow excuses to live, greatness will not. Success responds only to those who have declared war on their limitations, who have chosen to silence every excuse with action, every doubt with discipline, every fear with forward movement. Look closely at any person who has risen beyond mediocrity, and you will not find a life free of hardship. You will not find perfect conditions or endless support. What you will find is someone who made a decision to stop explaining failure and start demanding results. You cannot ride two horses. You either ride the steed of responsibility, or you sit helplessly atop the mule of excuses, going nowhere. You must understand, excuses are expensive. They cost you time. They cost you reputation. They cost you the confidence of others and the belief in yourself. And every time you make one, you are trading power for pity. So what must be done? You must cut the cord. Excuses must be treated like thieves. Thieves of your destiny, identify them, expose them, and replace them with decisions, with courage, with movement. Do not wait until you are ready. Ready is a myth. Begin now with what you have from where you are. Success will not enter the house where excuses dwell. But the moment you clear them out, when your mind no longer negotiates with weakness, you unlock a level of momentum that few ever taste. The doors begin to open, not because life suddenly becomes easier, but because you become someone who no longer looks for exits. Too many people wait for the results before claiming the identity. They say, once I have the money, I'll believe I'm successful. Once I get the position, I'll act the part. Once I win, I'll feel like a winner. But this thinking is reversed. It is fatal to progress. Success does not come to the person who waits to believe. It comes to the one who believes first, acts consistently, and becomes the type of person who would naturally receive the reward. Identity must precede achievement. You cannot receive what you have not yet earned in character. A throne means nothing if the man sitting on it is not yet a king in mind and behavior. Power in the hands of the unprepared destroys, but in the hands of the worthy it multiplies. So what must be done? You must build the identity of a successful person long before the world confirms it. In silence, in obscurity, in hardship, you must develop the habits, the values, the thought patterns of the man or woman you intend to become, not someday, but now. You must ask, how would a successful person think? How would they speak? How would they manage their time? What would they tolerate? What would they never allow? And then you must do that, be that, live that. Daily, this is not imagination, this is integration. The mind, once conditioned to a certain identity, begins to align every decision, every behavior, every response to match it. And in time, your outer world reshapes itself to reflect that inner mold. It is not enough to want success. You must embody success before it is visible. The results will always arrive after the identity has been secured. The man who wins the race does not begin as the winner. He trains like one, thinks like one, shows up like one, until victory is simply the natural consequence of his choices. The woman who rises to lead does not wait for permission. She leads herself first, and the world follows. It is your daily discipline, your integrity when no one's watching, your commitment when results are absent, that carve the identity of someone worthy of success. And when that identity is rooted in conviction, success has no choice but to arrive. Because results do not make the person makes the results, and once you have earned the identity in thought and behavior, no man rises alone, and no man remains unchanged by the company he keeps. The thoughts you feed your mind are powerful, but the voices that surround you, the attitudes that breathe into your space, and the standards of those you walk beside daily, they shape your future just as surely as your own beliefs. There is a law of the mind as certain as gravity. You will adapt to the level of expectation around you. If you walk among those who make excuses, you will soon lower your own standards. If you dwell among those who gossip, complain, or avoid responsibility, you will begin to see the world through their lens, distorted, cynical, and defeated. But if you align yourself with those who are growing, building, creating, those who expect more from themselves and demand more from life, your thinking will elevate, your vision will sharpen, your habits will transform. You must be ruthless in the environment you allow to shape you. Do not keep company with those who mock ambition, who laugh at discipline, or who speak only of limitations. These are not your allies. These are anchors, and even a strong ship tied to the dock of mediocrity will never reach the open sea. Surround yourself with energy that reflects where you are going, not where you've been. Seek out people whose very presence challenges your complacency. Those whose conversations spark ideas, not doubts. Those who inspire motion, not hesitation, because the right association can ignite the fire of greatness, and the wrong one can smother it before it ever burns. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. You do not cut ties out of superiority. You do so out of responsibility to your future. Every minute spent in low-energy environments is time stolen from your destiny. Every interaction that pulls you backward is a delay on the road you were born to walk. If your destiny is to lead, then surround yourself with leaders. If your calling is to build wealth, then walk among those who think in terms of growth, not scarcity. If you are to rise in any field, let the frequency of your circle match the altitude of your vision. You will absorb the mindset, the language, the beliefs of those around you, whether you intend to or not. So let every conversation, every relationship, every environment be a reminder of who you are becoming. The great illusion of the masses is this, that tomorrow will save them, that some future version of themselves, more disciplined, more motivated, more fortunate, will finally step in and make everything right. But time waits for no one, and tomorrow is the hiding place of cowards. The only moment that answers to your will is now, this instant, this breath, this choice. The future is not some distant land you arrive at. It is a consequence, a reflection of what you do with the present. Every action taken today is a brick laid on the road to what will be. Every decision, no matter how small, shapes your momentum. You are never standing still. You are either building your future or postponing it. To delay action is to surrender the power of creation. To hesitate is to hand your destiny to chance. And to live in the past or dream endlessly of the future is to abandon the only real battleground you have, the present moment. This is where the successful differ from the unsuccessful, not in intelligence, not in background, not even in opportunity, but in the urgency with which they treat today. They do not wait for permission. They do not wait for signs. They understand that opportunity is rarely announced. It must be seized, and the only place it can be seized is here, in the now. Those who command the present, who discipline their hours, control their focus, and conquer their distractions, are the ones who will write the future in their own hand. They are not carried by trend. They are not thrown by crisis. They are anchored in decision, rooted in clarity, and relentless in pursuit. What you do today is sacred. It is not a rehearsal. It is not preparation. It is the real thing. The man who becomes wealthy does not wait to manage his time. The woman who becomes a leader does not delay self-mastery. Those who rise to greatness understand the clock is not their enemy, it is their tool. For every hour well used compounds like capital, every moment focused builds toward mastery, every task done with intention becomes an investment in the life you are shaping. Do not fall into the trap of someday. Someday is not a strategy. Someday is a cemetery for dreams. If you would command your future, you must seize the reins of your day, shape your thoughts, direct your energy, govern your actions, take possession of the only kingdom that is truly yours, the present moment. Because the man who masters today, so begin now, audit your thoughts, break toxic habits, set fire to excuses, train your mind like a soldier, your body like a weapon, your spirit like a flame, because when you change, everything changes. The world bends to those who have bent themselves into greatness. Success isn't looking for the lucky. Success is looking for the ready. So become the person it cannot ignore. Don't chase it, attract it. And never forget, the battle is not out there. It's inside you, and that's the best news, because in there you are in charge,